Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Friday night crop. We are here with creative partner Ginny Prosser. She is going to be creating with this month's Kiwi Club kit, which is the Sweet Life. It's the one with the strawberries and the bunnies and the flowers. There's a lot of versatility with this kit. So Ginny is going to be creating tonight with that kit. You can see her layout right there. She's going to be showing you some tips and tricks. Ginny, if you want to introduce yourself real quick while we wait for some comments to pop up.
Hi, this is Ginny Prosser. I'm located in Northern California, Bay Area. And I've been with Kiwi Lane since 2016, and I'm really excited tonight to show you some of the details that I put into my layouts. Sometimes I go way beyond the Call of Duty and get a little carried away, but I love doing detail. And this is the basket that we're going to be making and some other items to do a real cute little layout with the strawberry theme.
It's going to be very fun. If you're joining us, say hello. Hi, Deborah. Two Deborahs, both Deborahs. Hi, both Deborahs. You guys are the ones in the chat. Hi, Paula. Okay, perfect. So just some announcements from Kiwi Lane. We are in week 3 of our Kiwi Lane Creating Olympics. We are in challenge 3 and deal of the week number 3. So challenge 3 is all about the play to create process. So designing your layout and then doing the cut, ink, replace, right? So with that, challenge 3, we ask that you take a picture of your layout in the design phase. So with the templates and then a photo of your layout at the very end. And you can get more details at kiwilane.com/Olympics. I will put the link here in the chat. We are doing winners for the Olympics. So if you are participating in the challenges, we do have winners, a gold, silver, and bronze winners will be chosen just like the Olympics. And they will be announced at our closing ceremony, which is happening February 25th. Also, even if you have not participated in the Olympics, you do want to be at the closing ceremonies on the 25th. We're doing giveaways. We've got prizes. Of course, we're announcing the winners, but also a very special announcement is happening that evening. You do not want to miss it. So to RSVP for the closing ceremony of the Olympics on February 25th, you can go to the link in the chat, kiwilane.com/Olympics. With that being said, Ginny, I'm going to let you take over the crafting.
I need for you to help me just 1 second. How do I get it up on my iPad again?
Okay, so you'll be looking at the video on Kiwi Lane Designs or in the Play to Create group. I posted it there as well. Click on it and it will go big. And then remember, if you swipe to the left, you'll see everyone's comments pop up. Hi, Linda.
Shoot.
Hi, Gail. Hi, Suzanne. Yes. Creative partners, we'll see you on Tuesday morning, right? Be sure to check your email. As for the rest of the community, we're excited to see you on February 25th for the closing ceremony of the Olympics. You don't want to miss it. I can't say that enough. You do not want to miss the closing ceremony of the Olympics on the 25th. Yeah, Linda, I'm excited too. I've known for a while and I can't keep it inside of myself. I want to share it with everyone, but we're waiting. So once again, closing ceremony on the 25th. You do not want to miss it. You want to be there. We have exciting things to tell you. How are you doing, Ginny?
Nope, I still haven't gotten it up.
Okay.
I'm on the Play to Create.
Okay, you'll see a post from me on there. And
that's what happened last time. I didn't go down far enough to find you.
Oh.
That's what happened.
Perfect. Yeah, you'll click on it and then it'll go big, right? Make sure your volume is turned down so they don't hear an echo. And then you'll swipe left and you'll see everyone's comments.
Okay, Play to Create. There we go, Play to Create. Just a second, folks. I'm a newbie.
We're excited. I know everyone was excited about the last craft in, right, that we did. Thanks for sticking with us last time.
I found me. There you are. Okay, what do I do now?
Okay, you're gonna swipe left, do a little swipe of your finger, and you'll see comments. I think that's what it said last time, right? Swipe left to see the comments.
Yeah, I see you talking and your comments. So that's the comments, right?
Yeah.
What's coming up?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, there'll be like, do you see Sharon's with us, Linda's with us,
No.
Susan's with us? There'll be their comments in the chat. You might have to, I think your iPad told you to swipe left last time, or
Oh, swipe left to reveal comments. Okay,
yeah.
I'm swiping left.
Yeah.
There we go. Hi, Linda Hanson, Sharon McDonald. Oh, Sharon found me. Deborah Johnson. Yay, everybody's here. Okay.
Okay, well, Ginny, I'm going to let you take over. Remember, when you get done, to hit the little end button on your phone. And I'll be watching. If you need anything, let me know. I'll be posting links into the chat as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Yay. Have a good night.
Thank you. Okay, everyone. I think that I've set my workstation up a little bit different. It should be a little better for you. I got it as close as I can to my camera, and my work area is a little bigger, so we should be okay. So here is a sample of the layout that I'm going to do. I'm using streamers, and you'll want to pick a background paper. I used a yellow, and I think it was the yellow out of the Sweet Life kit. And I used the plaid that was in there, which had the yellow tone to it. And I used the strawberry. So the first thing we'd want to do is to set that up, if you haven't already, and to cut from the strawberry paper with streamer 2, and with the plaid paper streamer 1. And while you're cutting those out, and if you're using other paper, that's okay also. If you had a different strawberry paper, or you pick something different on this side, or if your background isn't yellow, that's okay also. I'm going to just go over what my idea was here while you're cutting those out. And if you are following along, if you can make a comment that just says, okay, we're ready to go forward. Thank you, Marcel. Happy Friday to you also. So what I'm using is the berry 1 and 2 for the berry jar. And from Orchard, I pulled the basket. And Orchard was a fall set. And we're going to make that, as I showed you here, a little strawberry basket. I tried to make it look like the little old green plastic baskets we get our strawberries in, like at farmer's market. So that's what I was trying to create there. We're also going to use the berry border, and we're only going to use a little bit of it down here. If you decide you want to add it somewhere else, like maybe up here underneath the title, that would be okay also. The other thing that I added was a red and white check coordinating paper. So I picked that because I'm partial to red. And to me, I think of picnics and strawberries and watermelon and red and white check, like a tablecloth. So that's why I picked the red and white check. And that I use as an accent and for my matting behind my little pictures. So the little kids in the picture is my grandson, Sage, who now is going to be 14 years old. And he's probably 4 years old here. And his cousin, and they were at a park and they were given some chocolate. It looks like muffins to eat. And in the picture, you're going to see they're examining the muffins. They're probably discussing, yummy, these look really good. And then they've both taken a bite out of the muffin, and he's licking his lips and she's got chocolate above her lip. The last picture, it looks like he's kissing her, but actually, I think what he's doing is retrieving the chocolate for himself. And I just thought it was a sweet picture that would go cute with "This is the Sweet Life." I have pulled this card from the set also. "This is the Sweet Life." And I'm going to use it with Berry 3, which is the border. Not a border, I'm sorry. It's a title tag because it'll fit right in there. So what I did is I took and I did some samples up to give you an idea of different ways that you can do this little title tag. So I'm going to do it using the title that's on here, but I hand wrote it on here so you could see what it would look like. Now this is with just taking a pen and coloring in and not cutting out, which is the simplest way to do it. This is the second hardest way, which is tracing it also, but just cutting out the two little circles here. And then for you real adventuresome people, this is cutting out all the little pieces. So there's several different ways you can do it. And if you want to spend time later playing with it and deciding which way you want to do that title, or you may have another title you want to put in there or a different title completely, and that's fine also. So that gave you kind of a review of what I'm going to be doing here. We'll set these aside. And I'm going to start with the strawberry banner that we cut right here, which I just covered up. The streamers too. We're going to start with that because that has the most work to it. And what I've done is I've taken Garden Frills 2. It's a little flower. I used it on last week also on my layout. Hi, Darlene from Michigan. And hi, Linda. Linda Hansen. I just admire her work so much. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to make these cute little flowers. So you need some white paper, white cardstock, and I'm going to try to keep my arm out of the camera as much as possible. Last week I had my chest in the camera the whole day, the whole evening. This time I'm going to try it unless I'm reaching across for supplies. So we're going to start and we're going to trace this out. I'm going to say 6 little white flowers. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'll move it up a little so you can see. It's a beautiful day here in California. It was probably 70 degrees all day. It still is outside. I'd much rather have it be raining because we really are in our drought again. And I know some of you live back where you have snow still, but here we're praying for rain and we're getting nothing but beautiful skies. Okay, that's 4. Whoop, that one scooted around on me. Last week, I was telling, if you were with me, I was telling the story about that we're parrot owners. So I think tonight I've got everybody trained. I got the parrots in the other room quiet, and I got my husband with his headset on, watching his TV. Last week he had the headset on, but he still had the volume on. So that wasn't too good. I took the flower and I chalked or inked around it with a yellow because I thought it would pop it and pick up the color from the little yellow flower that is also on the strawberry paper. So we'll get some flowers cut out. So we'll have them ready to go when we get to that point. Anyhow, my new little parrot that I got because my other one passed away is doing really well. And she's bonding really well with us. We've had her 3 weeks. And she's already started picking up some sayings from our household. But boy, does she have about 100 words that she says right now that are clear as a bell. She does about 5 different voices. I sent a video of her to Deborah Johnson, and she got a kick out of it because she was not familiar with parrots at all. And she was able to hear her talk and get acquainted with a parrot. We used to be dog owners, but when we moved here to the senior mobile park, we brought our birds with us, and you can only have one or the other, one cat, one dog, or caged birds. Okay, so when I do the flowers, I also had the red brad that I'm putting in the center. If you have some brads, those will work. If you have some other kind of cute little jewel embellishment that you want to put there, that would work also. I think by looking at my Facebook, it looks like you're able to see me a lot better on this screen. Deborah, do you think this is a better setup with the camera this time compared to last week? And I know I had another gal that thought it was a little blurred because the page was too far away, but this is as close as I can get the page to the camera. I don't have anything overhead to be able to clamp like Linda Hansen and some of the other gals do. I wish I did, but I haven't been able to figure that out. Okay. 2 more. This is the tedious part when you do multiple, but this is going to look really cute because we're going to use the vine. And so if you don't have the vine out, I set up pictures on Facebook for you to help you out and gave you a list of supplies. So hopefully some of you have pulled those supplies already. I have the a la carte vine. And if you've seen my work before, you know I'm really partial to flowers, vines, outdoor stuff. When this kit was on its way, Deborah Johnson contacted me and said, oh, wait to see it, Jenny. It's right down your alley. It's not only just that it's down my alley because it's floral and strawberries, but the colors are my colors also. And I'm kind of glad that this came instead of whatever February was supposed to be. I hope we're all not disappointed when we see the real February. Okay, now I don't know how many of you have not worked with me before. This is only my second live, but I had done some videos before and they were posted for you to look at when we first started doing this. And you know that I use the Tim Holtz Ranger inks, and I use the little pads. And if you have any questions, you can contact me. I've given descriptions, but all this stuff I find on Amazon, or my local scrapbook store carries it also. I also use the daubers, which are available with Kiwi Lane, or you can buy the holder and the daubers also at Michael's scrapbook store, Amazon, all those places. So I'm going to use a dauber and scattered straw, but any yellow will work if you don't have that one. Or if you don't have colored inks to ink, you can do it in the photo vintage, what's it called? Vintage photo, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to take and, oh, you can see my turntable where I'm pulling all my supplies. And I'm going to erase any of my lines because they will show through the yellow. I use this little soft eraser that I get a 2 or 3 pack at the $1.25 store. We have to remember it's not the dollar store anymore. And I'm still on the first eraser from the 3 pack that I bought 2 years ago, so they last a long time. If I'm doing just a tiny little area, then I use the end of my pencil, but for larger like this, then I use a soft eraser to take off the lines. Okay, that's done. If you're unaware of this, this says a scattered straw here. On the back of your little ink, it says scattered straw also. So if you ever get the wrong lid onto the wrong ink, that's how you match them back up. I owned these for a year before I even knew that, and I had them all mixed up and I couldn't figure out which went with which. So I'm just going to go lightly around the edge with each one of them. Makes it look like a little daisy. I have bought this is mustard seed. I have bought some refills for the basic colors that I use a lot of. This hasn't even been opened because I've never had to re-ink them yet, but I started when I'm in the scrapbook store, I'll buy one at a time just to have them. So when I do have to start re-inking, the only thing that wears out is these little daubers after a while. They start flaking, but they sure last a lot longer than the old ones that we used to have. And if you don't have these and you use your pad, I think that works also. It just doesn't go as well into the little grooves. And this is number 5. I already had one made up. So that's my 6th one. I'm thinking 6 will be enough. If we find later we need more, you can make more up after we're done. I have this little, it's so close to my heart. I don't know who else makes them. It's just a little foam pad that I put my items on when I want to punch holes. And I use a piercing tool that has a pointed edge. You may have another way of putting holes into the items that you want to put brads in, or if you're using a different embellishment, you won't even have to do that part. You would just stick the embellishment on. And what I mean by a different embellishment, it would be like these pearls or this bling. These are self-adhesive, something like that you could put in the center. I wanted it to be red to pick up the red, but you may have a red rhinestone. That would work also. I do not, I don't think, have a red rhinestone. I have black. I do, I do, look it. I did have these. And I think I tried those, but they were a little bit too big compared to the brad. I thought they were overwhelming for the size. So use whatever you have in stock. Doesn't have to be exact. I got a couple more here I got to punch. And I'm ready to put my brads in. And then we'll set those aside. Because then we'll work on the vine. So this 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so I have a carousel kind of holding carrier that has these little compartments that open up and snap close. And that's what I have my brads in. I have 4 set over here with a shorter shank. My nails, I just had them done, but they're going to be in the way. So I'm just going to push it through the hole. And then use my sturdy nails. Like so. And if you have trouble getting it through, you can punch another hole right next to it so that it makes a bigger opening. So it's easier to get in. It's hard for me because I have these nails, but these are our little flowers, our little daisies. Now, if you're using some other flower, and it's a little bit bigger, that would be okay also. Let's see what's going on with the comments. Oh, someone said, who is it, Deborah? Oh, yeah, my turn. I found this at a yard sale. Someone was getting rid of the turntable tiered tray, and I went, oh, that would work. And that sits on the corner of this IKEA desk that I have. And it has all my everyday need supplies right at my fingertips. My pins, my magnets. Oh, speaking of magnets, I know a lot of you were with me last week, so this may be redundant, but there was a lot of questions about my snapping easel, and a lot of people that were very interested in it. And I should have contacted Amazon and said, hey, I'm sending you all kinds of customers to buy the new magnets, because the magnets that come with this snapping easel are brutal. They fall apart and they snap and they pinch your fingers and they're brutal. Now this one has a longer shank, but it's not going to make any bit of difference. It still is going to be behind the cardstock as well as the other one. And it looks exactly like. Okay, did I lose one? Gotta get another one. I thought I had enough out. Oh no, I only got out 4. And I also had told you gals about people giving me things after the fire to supplement me and get me started on my scrapbooking again. And this was one of the items. Let me stand up here. It's made by Creative Options, and it looks like a little purse, a little tall tubular purse. And when you open it up, that's what these little compartments go in. And it closes right up. And off you go to your next crop. because I designed my layouts and my kits to take with me, I don't take this as often as I used to, but I find that if I do bring it, it gets used by all my fellow scrapbookers. So someone can always forget something. So I do, it's really easy to carry in it. So I've got it all right there at your fingertip. Okay, our flowers are made. Our banner is made. So next, we're going to make the other flowers. If you do not have a punch, this is another item that I used last week that I told everybody about that's available. It's a 1-inch flower punch by, I don't know how to, Bira, B-I-R-A. I think that Martha Stewart had one for a while, and there's other companies, so you may have an older one. You could also make these in yellow, and we could just do some white and some yellow. I'm going to punch some of these little flowers. This is what it looks like when you punch it out. Has a little tray that holds the ones that you punch. And I'm going to make a couple of them. I won't spend a long time making too many of them because you can make them and place them yourself afterwards. But we'll place some. This is my handy dandy piercing tool again. Okay, that goes up on my tray. Oh, I was going to show you. I also have up here on this tray this little hole punch that makes a little circle, a little punch that makes a circle. If you don't have red brads and you have a circle punch, you could punch a red and put that there also. I just saw that up there. So there's all different ways you can do this without having the punch or all the supplies that I'm using. I use my piercing tool and I place it right here on the petal and I roll the two pieces together. I think you'll be able to see that. I'll get as close as I can. So you go like this. I know what this is on delayed, so it's weird watching yourself after you said it. So we're going to do two of them. This is Double Dot Swiss by Bo Bunny. It was one of my favorite papers. I don't even know if they make it anymore, but I had every color under the rainbow that they made. I love the little dots, but you could do it in plain yellow. You could also maybe find a yellow. I'm going to do two. A yellow title card from Kiwi with the yellow on the back. And one of the cards, last week I told you that I don't use all the title cards. And so I save them under my work area in this tray that goes inside another tray. And I have all my little scraps of different colored pieces of paper. So if I needed a yellow, I would find it here, or here, or here's a piece of a double-sided paper that was kind of ugly on the back, but obviously I like the yellow on that side. So that's where I get all my little scraps and keep my scraps right under here as I'm creating. Okay, now I'm going to take my glue that I use because I do not use tape. I explained that before. This is my little applicator. This is the glue I use. Glue basted. It's a temporary basting glue for quilters, but it works fantastic for scrapbookers also. I remember keep my head out of the camera. It's made by Roxanne. It's available on Amazon. This is a 2-ounce bottle. This will last you for at least a year or more, depending on how much scrapbooking you do. It comes like this, and it does have a long screw-on lid applicator. I don't know if I don't have one right now available. But I pour it into this little bottle that I also get at Amazon. And it has a little tip that goes on top. So you just take the tip off and the glue comes out. If the glue gets stuck in there, then you use just a straight pin and go up and down inside the little pointed applicator, and it'll clear it right out. It doesn't get stuck very often, but sometimes it does. So this glue takes just a few seconds to dry. I put a little dab like so. And then I take 2 of them and put it together, and I offset them. And I hold it for a few minutes so that it'll set up. So I'm going to make 2 of those. Sometimes I do my layout first, all the cutting, and sometimes I get my detail. Tonight I'm doing it backwards. I'm going to do the detail, get some of this made up so that we can have it done and put it together, because the layout background is very simple. Okay, so there's 2 of them done. I would say you'd need a total of maybe 6 of them. We're going to have 3 to begin with, and I can make more later on. And then, of course, I will take pictures of this tomorrow and post it on Facebook and send it off to the events to Sonia, and then she will put it up also. And if you miss, what size is your flower punch? 1 inch, Debbie. It says video keeps freezing up. And Marcel got a easel. Great. Oh, Linda Hansen wants to know, do I ever blend colors? I have, and we will tonight, use 2 different colors on the vine. So that's a good question, Linda. I will show how I do blend my colors. And I don't use a blending tool. I just use my dauber, because I'm sure that you do. Linda does great detail work also. When I see her stuff, I go, whoa, I love that. I think I even may have scrap lifted one of your items today. I was making the Christmas layout with the poinsettia and the lantern. I scrap lifted somebody's. Okay, these are called liquid pearls. Nouveau also makes the same type product. This is ruby red. This is the carrier. Again, Amazon. I think I just sit at home and just order, and today I was very disappointed. The Amazon man came and I go, oh, I got my new mailbox. Now it was golf gloves for my husband. That was disappointing. Now I'm going to let's see if I can do it here where you can see it. And I'm just going to you just barely squeeze. Okay, it may be plugged. I'm barely squeezing. It's not coming out. So I have my handy dandy little jar where I keep my little extra doodaddy stuffs. And I have a pin, straight pin. Pump it a couple times. Wipe it off. Over here, I'll do that. I found something on the floor that's not supposed to be down there. This is what our little jar is going to look like when we're done. I put the glistening on it and put the date of when this 2013. So it was a few years ago. Okay, now it should be working. So Just a suggestion, when you first use your liquid pearls and you haven't used them a while, take a practice run. There, it's working perfect now. Okay, so I'm going to move that over here. Let's try it again. So you just do a little squeeze and a little dab and pull up right away. I'm going to see if I can get one in the center with that. If they touch, they become hooked together. So you don't want to do that. So here's the one I did before. And this one has been smashed in the plastic. You can flatten them out after they dry. They do take a while to dry. That's why I'm doing them first, so we can set them aside. So if you don't want them sticking and making your scrapbook too thick, then you can flatten them out. But the 3-dimensional I like. So we're going to take these and we're going to set them aside. I'm not talking because I'm concentrating. Okay. Now, hopefully, okay. Am I still up? It dinged. Tell me if I'm still live because it's saying something on the screen and I don't know what it wants. Okay, let's work on our vine. Let me put this away in my little jar. I get too many things out. Things get misplaced. You know how we cover everything up and then can't find it. You know, you just had it out. Okay, these are our little flowers. I'm going to set them over here with the, nope, I'm not going to change my style. Okay, so if you look at your strawberry paper, it's got the vine, and the leaves on the vine are 2 different colors. So I picked 2 shades of green. I've got a brighter green and a lighter green. So I'm going to cut the vine in the bright green, and then I'm going to cut another one in the light green, and I'm going to layer the light green leaves on some of them like it shows on the TV Lane paper. So last week someone asked me, do you trace on your scrapping easel? No, I was doing that last week because I didn't have enough workspace here. But I think I've made enough workspace here for me to be able to trace like I normally do. I either work right here in front of my easel or right over here to the right of me. I have a TV tray, little tray table, not a TV tray, it's just a tray table set up where I keep my extra supplies. Now, when I first started and moved in here, I did the scrapping easel on the little table and I used this whole area for my workspace. But I couldn't see my TV as well, or I got a kink in my neck. So I switched it so that I was cutting and tracing and doing my work right on the table in front of the TV. And it was much easier on my neck. I broke my shoulder a few years back and I have trouble. Well, I've fallen several times, but okay, it says I'm still live. Okay, good. said something on the screen. It made a ding sound. And like I said, I'm new at this, so I wish I had Linda's husband here to help me out. She's got the backup. Okay, that should be it. Okay, we got that one traced. I remember when this first came out, there was a lot of comments from people. Oh my, that's going to be so much work. Oh, but when you cut enough templates, it just becomes second nature. Oh, I was going to tell you, after watching Linda's video, I went and bought one of the slice. I must be too rough, Linda, or something. I used it. It worked okay on some of the on the Basil cardstock that's thicker. It wasn't cutting as well. I had to go over it. And then the fourth or fifth time I used it, the ceramic tip that says it's indestructible broke. So now I have half a tip. So I don't know what that's all about, but you said you've had yours a long time. Maybe I may need a titanium one or something. Oh, he wants to come to California? I live right by the bay. Linda says her husband would like to join us. Hey, Deborah Johnson said she'd come down and go to my crop. I'm having, I should tell you girls about that. Lindsay Smith, who was my upline when I started with Kiwi, but we don't have the managers in Cheer any longer. We just have consultants. So Lindsay was my upline, and she does retreats. She's originally from Michigan, but she moved to Northern California, and she was having them around here. And then she started doing them up in Lake Tahoe, which is a beautiful resort area up in the mountains. And I started attending them. And then Lindsay relocated to Idaho. And when she went to Idaho, it's a little bit more difficult for her to come down. Well, I've gone to so many retreats and crops that she asked me to fill in for her one time. Well, the one time became 2 times, became 3 times. So now I look at her calendar at the beginning of the year where she has her crops set up, and I mark all of them in the calendar because inevitably Lindsay will be calling me saying, Jenny, help. So she did it again. I love her to death, but she has I think it's a baby shower this time. One time it was a wedding, family reunion. She's very social. She's younger than myself by a whole bunch. She calls me mom because she's same age as my daughter. And so there's a scrapbook store in Dixon by Sacramento, which is 20 minutes over the hill from where I live. And she has a retreat coming up, and she asked me to do it for her. So I haven't heard as how many are attending, but it can hold probably up to 35 or 40 ladies. And usually we have about that many. And they come from all over. I have 2 girlfriends that will be coming, one from the Chico area and one from the Redding area, if you're familiar with California at all. Those are all north of me by 3 hours or so. And this Dixon is probably 20 minutes from Sacramento. It has nice hotels around it, lots of restaurants, lots of places to stay. So I will be gone next weekend, the 25th, and be doing that crop. And the nice thing about it, it's attached. The building is unit is open to the unit next door, and the unit next door is a scrapbook store. So you forget piece of paper, you forget your daubers, you forget anything. It can get costly. You have to, it's the retreat cost $100 for the 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You crop from 10 till midnight, Friday and Saturday, and 10 to 6 on Sunday. And of that $100, you get $25 credit over at the scrapbook store to spend. To me, that's like going up to the casino when they give you go on the bus and then they give you spending money to gamble. I mean, woohoo, $25. Now, that's not going to go very far in the scrapbook store, but it does encourage you to support that scrapbook store. So that's what I'm doing. Lindsay will be joining me on Saturday night, I think, and she will be there for her retreat on Sunday. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, Linda, you're saying, oh, who's in Ripon? Oh, yeah, that's over, Ripon's over on the 99 side of Sacramento. I'm on the 80 side, Lisa. I'm talking to you, sorry. I'm on the 80 side of, oh, see, you could come over from there. You could cut over, Ripon, let's see, that's down. That's where the wine is. So you would go up and go over 5 and hook up on 80 and come back down. You could go to those retreats. They're fun. Okay, I've got it all cut out. And Linda, you were pointing out the hard mat. I did cut it on a hard mat. I have this, we are memory keepers. No, yeah, we are memory keepers. It's a magnetic fold up mat. And it's for cutting, and it folds up, and I use that, and I don't know, it just snapped. I could hear it go click, and it just snapped. Okay, so let me get out my green, and I'll show you what we're going to do here. Got my green ink. And I'm going to try mowed lawn and peeled paint. Peeled paint is the one I use mostly. I'm going to try mowed lawn too. And I'm going to do it on the back first to see if I like the mowed lawn. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now let's try to peel paint. That's what I normally use. Mowed lawn 1. See, this is what I'm saying. Let's peel paint. Okay. Mowed lawn is a darker. The peeled paint blended in too much. I want it to stand out. So I am going to now ink my vine. When I ink, it doesn't matter you're messy. I have a girlfriend, when she inks, she's like this. Real slow, just around the edges. I just get into it. The more it makes it more detailed, makes it look more realistic. Now, if you're using just the brown, then yes, I would put maybe a little less, but you can see already how it's starting to shade it. Love the. Oh, so you've been to the Lisa, I'm talking to Lisa again. You've been to the It's All About the Scrapbook in Dixon. What a wonderful store it is. They have it when before the fire, when I lived in Chico, we had one there that the girls had, Paradise Scrapbook Boutique, and they had it all decorated with antiques and all kinds of cute stuff. And they changed it up. You'd go in one week and the paper would be on the left, and you go in the next week and it would be on the right with a whole display. And like if they had this, they'd have strawberry jam out with it and jars and antiques and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so I've got this inked up, and now I take my dauber on the side and I ink it up and I drag it right down the center of the vine. So it looks like so. That's, oh, I don't know whether you guys can hear, but I can hear my parrot. She's saying bang, 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 bang. She likes to bang on her tray, and she also likes to say it, bang, 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 bang. She also says, stop that darn banging. When we got her, she's quite the character. Okay. Oh, oh, oh. Run away, Dauber. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Geez, you can hear her right through the door. That's her whistling. There's my vine with my color. Hope you can see that. Turning it so you can see it. How's the lighting? I don't know whether you can see it in the light. Yeah, that's better. Okay, you could call it done or not. Mine's a or not. I'm going to see. Nope, I'm going to do black. I tried green ink. It doesn't stand out enough for me. Let me try the black. Yes, I'm going to go just real quickly with, this is just a rollerball ink that I use. There's all different brands. Tell you the truth, I get this one at the dollar store. It works good for me, does the trick. And I'm just going down one side of the leaf and then the other. I'm not going down the vine. This is where I said that sometimes I get carried away. It was fine the way it was, but I like it even more when I. Now this is basil paper, and it's got these ridges, and sometimes it makes the ink pen wiggle all over the place, but that's okay. My lines aren't perfect. I think I have 4 more to do. I'm going to adjust this light here and see if it helps any. I'm wiggling around, you're probably getting car sick. So that's what it looks like. So we're going to repeat that, but I'm going to put the mowed lawn away. There's our vine. And I'm going to take the light green. And that's what our flower is going to look like when we get them on there. So I want this vine to go the same way because we're going to swipe leaves off of here. So I wonder, I was thinking maybe I don't have to do the whole vine. We could do half a vine and just cut off the leaves, or we could just trace the leaves. I think I'm just going to do the whole vine because what we don't use, I can use on another project. If you're putting the work out. Oh, I was talking earlier about the fussy cutting and how time consuming people thought the vine would be. But that wasn't too bad. And we've got it all chalked. This is going to be the slowest, hardest part. The rest will go a lot quicker because I don't have a lot of more detail after the vine and the flowers. We've got the basket went really quick except for cutting it out. The jar is really easy. You need, Linda's saying, I need, they have, it holds tiny ones. And I have to go back and read. Is that your parrot making that whistling sound? Yes. No, it's my parrot. It's my parrot. Our new parrot, Chrissy. That was her whistling. And before then, she was going bang, 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 making a banging sound. I've got the door closed. She's on the other side of the wall in the parrot room. They have their own little, it's like a reading nook room. Oops, I missed a leaf. Let's go back and hit that guy. Okay, done tracing. See, everything I'm putting over here on this little tray to my right. Now, I haven't practiced this, so that you're learning right along with me on this. I have not pre-done. I pre-made a jar and the strawberry basket to see how it would turn out. To make sure that I knew what I was doing. So I'm just going to take this leaf and I'm going to cut into it like so. Erase the line. Now I'm going to take the peel paint, which is more of an avocado green and more of the color of the cardstock that I was using. Okay, that was also her going, she does all kinds of sound. Okay. I chalked around the outside. I put my little vine in. Oh, let me see, where did I take that from? I took it from down. Oh, I guess it really doesn't matter because we're going to go like this. Let me see how that is. That's laid right on top of it. So that was this one down here. It should fit right here. Okay, what if I put it underneath instead of over it? I'm going to try that. The vine in the background has it. I hear you in there, Chrissy. You're supposed to be quiet. Thought for sure you wouldn't be able to hear. Where's my tweezers? Oh, you know what I like? Now she's barking like a dog. Woof, woof. I kind of like it behind. What do you girls think? There's on top. And I'm just going to do like every few. And I kind of like it behind. Like there's a dark leaf and a light leaf. Let me see what your comments say. Behind. Kristen says behind. Krishna, I'm sorry, says behind. I like it behind too. Linda, what do you think? Are you still with me? Behind too. I like it behind. Just like that. Okay, Lisa Johnson says behind too. Hi, Lisa. Tanya. Then behind it is. It looks good. I'm happy. Now I'm going to put it behind, and I'm putting the highlight down the center of the vein, but I'm not going to go and outline it. I could outline it in green. If you decide you want to afterwards, we can do that. I think it's subtle, and I think that looks good. I've never done this before. This is kind of exciting. I'm gonna just knock on the floor. I wish I could make this stupid chair quit squeaking. Be like asking my parrot not to talk, but I oiled it. I tried everything, but I got it for next to nothing after the fire. Bought it at one of those, what do you call them? Rental, furniture rental companies. They were advertising on TV if you want to rent office furniture, or if you're moving into a temporary apartment while you're working out of town or something. So I looked into it, and the TV I have is a very nice TV. Been using it for 3 years. $29.95. Beautiful. Sits on in front of me right here, so I can watch it while I'm scrapbooking. And I bought the office chair for $29.95, and it's got the back and the armrest and the whole thing. Okay, so every 2 or 3, I think we'll try. What do you think? I think that'll work. I can hear my husband talking. He's taken the birds in with him into the living room now. We have these little stands he's built, and they sit on the TV tray on the stand and watch TV with him. That's her. She does sound like the battery's getting low in the. She also sounds like the microwave. I think we just need maybe 3 or 4 more and we're done with that part, and then we'll glue them down. And I'm cutting kind of different sizes or sticking. Oh, it's starting to look good. I'm excited. We're not doing this on both sides, girls. The other side's got all the strawberries and the title card and all that stuff. Now, if you have a lot more pictures, you could put a picture here and you could squeeze another picture here. These are all the pictures I had, and I wanted to do it simple, so I wasn't keeping you guys up all night long. So you might still hear my husband because he wears hearing aids and he doesn't realize he talks so loud. I think I'm gonna do one more. I see one spot that I think I want to put one right here. But I'm gonna cut it. One of the smaller. Some of them are a little, well, I guess they're the same. But when I cut them, they look different. I'm a real bird person. Not only do I have birds in my house, I have hummingbirds outside, and we have doves, and the doves come every year and nest on our porch and have babies. Oh, I wanted one right there. I'm going to double up there. And okay. I think that's it. Now, here's what I'm talking about. I've got this right here. That's a little chunk of green that I'm cutting off, and I'm throwing in my scrap box underneath here. And I would put this, so I know where it's at. I put this in with my templates, with my vine, because you'll never remember if you put it away somewhere, at least I wouldn't, somewhere else. When I put my vine template away, I'm going to store this right in them. The next time I go to get my vine out, I'll go, oh, look, I've got some already traced. Okay, now, since I haven't done this before, I'm learning right along with you. Vicki, thank you. Vicki says that she loves my attention to detail and adds so much depth. Oh, how many birds do we have, Paula? We have 2. We have an Amazon gray. He's a male. His name is Jade. And I inherited him. I used to be a caregiver. And the gentleman I took care of was 95 years old. And the year before he passed, he had a feeling he was going to be passing. And he knew of the 6 caregivers that worked for him. I was the one that loved the bird. So he asked me if he could leave me the bird. And I had had a parrot before. So I asked my husband, and he said, oh, yeah, that sounds like fun. I go, you know, it's going to be like adopting a, how am I going to do this? Okay, I'm going to put a little dab here. And then I'm going to do that, because I'll never remember where they went. Okay, that one's down. Down there. See, I already forgot where I had them. No. Well, if we have to cut more, we will. Put a little dab. Anyhow, so we adopted Jade, and Jade was my bird, and he loved me. And then Les, the man that had the bird before, had him for like 10 years, looked like my husband, same height, same coloring, glasses, so on and so forth. And after we had him about 3-4 months, he took to my husband and would have nothing to do with me. He got ornery, he got mean, he got an attitude. He has an attitude anyhow. And so all I'm doing is putting a little bit of my white glue, trying to find the same spot I had it before, and attaching it to the back of the vine, pushing, and we'll let it dry and it'll be fine. Now, if you're using a runner, I would say you'd have to flip it over and put a little with your runner. And but this is working for me. So I'm gonna put a little here. Slide it under, push down on it, and there we go. Anyhow, so that's how we got Jade. And so I went around pouting for another month or two. This doggone bird, he doesn't like me, he likes you better than he likes me. And my husband was feeling so bad that he went on Craigslist at Christmas time. And lo and behold, he came upon a gentleman who was selling his parrot that he'd only had 2 weeks. That usually doesn't happen. He found out he was allergic to the parrot. Why he didn't do some research beforehand is beyond me. But it was an African gray. And if you know what an African gray is, it's a gray parrot with a red tail from Africa. And they are the world's best talker. They outtalk macaws, cockatoos, whatever. And so we drove 6 hours, more than that, yeah. 6 hours late in the night. We told the gentleman when my husband got off work, we'd get in the car and go. We'd probably be there about 10 o'clock. And birds don't like to be disturbed to go to bed when the sun sets. And I told my husband, if that bird gets on my finger and is friendly at 10 o'clock at night, she's mine. And she did, and she was. But 3 weeks ago, she acted strange one evening and fell off her perch. I couldn't figure out what was going on. She never showed any signs of being sick. We have her seen by the vet quarterly, and we had to rush her to a 24-hour emergency and put her on oxygen. Next day, we took her to a bird specialist because there's very few. And on the third day, she passed. Come to find out, she had had heart issues and had a bad heart valve and very damaged left side of her heart for her whole life. And I didn't know it. She never showed it. So we adopted this parrot 3 weeks ago from a parrot rescue. Okay, here is my finished product. Now, Linda was asking about blending. So we could go back and use a darker, but you see, it kind of blends by itself, the two colors. It looks like I used 2 colors and I didn't. But you could take, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Okay. So now I'm gonna take it. The first week we had her, the thing about parrots, they talk when they want to talk. I had a friend come over to meet her yesterday. If you leave the room, they talk more than when you're in the room because they're trying to get your attention. But that's how I videotaped her. I just set the phone up and left the room and she just started talking to me or to herself. So I had a friend come over yesterday to meet her and see her and hear her talk. And do you think that parrot would say one stinking word? No. I think she said 3 things all total out of the 100 things she says. Now, I've got a trace line here. I am not inking around the edge. of this strawberry paper. I don't think it needs it because your eye is going to be drawn right to the vine. And I'm going to glue this down and I'm going to adhere it as far over as I can so I have room for my pictures and our other. And if you haven't picked out pictures, if you don't want to adhere it, you can adhere it later when you decide what pictures you're going to put on it. I thought this paper on the, I am when they have leftover inventory, I hardly ever buy 2 kits, but when they sell the paper or the template separate, and if they have any of these left, I am buying another one of these. I love the back red with the little strawberry lines on it. It looks like strawberry. So that's how my glue works. Just a little tiny line. Just a little bit here. Of glue. That's it. Now, I was reading today on, I don't know if it was on Kiwi Lane or one of the things that I follow for scrapbooking. Someone was showing off one of their albums they had made a long time ago, or a scrapbook, and they said that the runner material was not adhesive anymore and was falling apart. And they had bought some cheap adhesive, I guess. Let me tell you about this glue. Once it's adhered, it's adhered. It's not repositionable. But I use my handy dandy tool, and if you really had to, after it's dry, not while it's still damp, you can run underneath it and you can force it up. You would be able to save the vine, but your paper underneath might be destroyed. I have taken things off. This glue is going to be here for a lifetime. It ain't going anywhere. So what I think I'm going to do with our flowers that we made, whoops, is I'm going to put them in between where the light greens are. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I am going to take Marcel, I can't either. I can't remember what group I saw it on, but the gal was saying, oh my gosh, my pictures are falling right off the pages. I'm like, what? But I have been using this glue since the beginning of my scrapbooking career, which was when my first grandchild was born, which was be 17 years in March. So I put a mounting square, and I'm going to start right here at the bottom, and I'm going to offset that flower like that. I think you might have to make more than 6. I don't know. I'm gonna leave a spot. Wait a minute before I open my mouth. Where's my little, oh. See, I already buried one of my flowers, but that's okay. Here's the little yellow ones that I made. The reason I have those is there's these little tiny yellow ones that are dispersed by these red ones also, but I'm not going to do that. So what about if we do it like this, every other one? That might be cute. So I have 3 of these. Or I could do 2, 1, 2, and then 1. What do you think? Should we, let me get my magnets. And of course it wants to stick right to the, okay, so this one would go here. It wants to stick right to the brad, of course. And so the yellow would go here. And then I would do another one over here. That's okay, you can stick. And then one up here. So every two and then a yellow. And then that would mean I'd have white here. And I have one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thought I made 6. Oh, I do. I have a whole bunch over here. Oh, okay, maybe you don't need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5, 6. How would it look if you grouped a couple in between the lighter? Well, see, that's great minds think alike. Flowers and vine. You like just like that. Love it. You could put the extra on the other page. Huh, that's a thought. I could, huh? I could set it just down here by, oh, yes. Okay, girls. Good call. Who said that? Whose idea was that? Oh, of course. It's Linda. Linda, of course, you have such great ideas. I've got the vine over here. I'll throw it over there. You're right. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I made 6 of them and had one already. So that's how many I'm going to put on. I'm going to tuck that one there. I'm going to leave that one there. I'm only going to tuck one. If you want to tuck all yours in, that would be okay. But I think that's how I'm going to do it. I might do one more tucked in here. But I think that'll do it. Now, when you do these are flat on the bottom, and since they're already raised, I don't use a die. I just put a little of my white glue. I'm going to try to, oh, get out. I'm going to, nope, not going to. I'm going to tuck it under there like that and just push down. Okay. That. When Daisy, that was my other parrot, when she passed a couple of weeks ago, she Jade saw me take her away in a blanket. That was his buddy. We called it his sister, even though they weren't brother or sister. We'd say, oh, your sister's doing this, or Jade's 48 years old, my green parrot. He was old when I got him. And now he's older because I've had him 10 years. And I got Daisy when she was a baby. We had her. She was just going to turn 10. And so he'd been with her for 10 years. He was mad. I mean, mad. And then when we came home from the hospital and we didn't have her that next day, he got up, he looked over at her cage, and he started kind of growling. So I took the cage and tucked it in the corner, but it's a big cage, so it's not like you can hide it from him. And for 2 days, he was nasty. And he'd turn his back to us and wouldn't even look at us. So that's when Vic got on the internet and started looking up rescue places to buy the gray bird that I just, I think I'll take a picture and post it for you guys tomorrow on the page so you can see. To buy the bird as a baby, African gray, is $4,500. And I was like a down payment on a car. I said, no, thank you. We went and looked at a baby in Napa. But we got this, a lady had passed away. She'd had Chrissy for 20 years. The parrot we adopted is 20 years old. They lived to be about 50 years old. So we called around and we found this rescue place. I follow one in Battle Creek, Michigan on Facebook. And so she's the one that inspired me to try to adopt a bird that needed a home. Okay, I think we're pretty done there. Now, if you really wanted to get fancy, you could tuck in a strawberry here and there. But that's not my thing. I don't want to overclutter it. Okay, so I have already pre-cut to show you the mat on this. Now, I even use this on my photos. I've never had anything turn yellow, never had anything come off. There's hundreds of us gals that scrapbook together that use the same product. And like I said, it's acid free. I'm just going to throw this on here so you guys will be able to see what it's going to look like. You know what else, Linda, would be cute? Gosh, I got an idea here, girl. Give me one of these leaves off this vine. And then you guys can vote. Oh, come on. Oh, there you go. So I can do this. Get over here. That was me whistling. I could do that right there. Oh, come on, Linda. You're going to scrap lip my vine? You could put the extras. Okay. Okay. Paula needs to know the name of the glue again. So we're going to take a little step back in time. Okay. It's called Glue Based It. Glue Based It. It's a temporary basting glue for quilters. The way it works is they take their 2 pieces of material, put a little bit of this glue, push it together and let it dry so that when they run it through the quilting machine or do their stitching, the 2 pieces don't slide apart. It's water soluble, not like we're going to take our scrapbook pages and put them in water, but then they wash the quilt and the glue comes out. So putting it on 2 pieces of paper makes it a permanent adhesive unless you want to put water on it. I don't know who or when it was discovered that it worked, but like I said, I've been buying it for 20 years and it comes in a big bottle, 6 ounce, and you can refill the little applicator or a 2 ounce. I do a lot of scrapbooking. So this is a quarter of the way down and this is my 2nd bottle and I've lived here 3 years. So I would say that for the first go around, these little, let me see, let me pull this back. I'm going to pull you guys back just a second. Put you right back. I think you're in the same place. Sorry for the ride. These little precision tip bottles are available on Amazon also. And this one is attached to the bottle with a little cap that goes on, but I clip that off and I use a different little cover, but it keeps the glue fresh. And it never hardens in this bottle. I've had them for years in a bottle like this, and it's never hardened. So it's glue basted, temporary basting glue. It's made by Roxanne, and it's available on Amazon and any quilting store that's a reliable quilting store. I don't know if Joanne carries it or not, even though they sell stuff for quilting. But if you could find a quilting store where you live, they'll get it in for you, or they'll probably know what you're talking about. So did we vote on, you're welcome, Paula. Oh, that sounds cute, Deborah. That Deborah says, that she has an adorable photo of her dad in this cute little bucket. So should I put the flower down on this corner or up in this corner, or not at all? Any suggestions? I liked it here. Bottom corner, says Lisa. Further away from the vine then. Krishna, bottom. Do the same on the other page. Oh, on the second page over here? Yeah. Okay. Good idea. Okay, here we go. We're going to glue this down. Look at this strawberry paper. You never know. You know, when they first came out with the double-sided paper, I hated it. Because if you like one side and then you like the other, you had to buy two sheets. I think that was the reason for it. Or if you didn't like one side, they figured you'd like the other. I like my one-sided. It made it easier decision-making. Then sometimes you'd pay more for double-sided and you hated the other side, so you felt like you're wasting your money. But look at this. Who would think of red, white, and blue? And I think this was a 4th of July print paper from Photo Player, one of them years ago. See, it even in the background has like a sunburst, like a fireworks. I'm pretty sure this was a fireworks paper and a picnic paper. I didn't even look at the back, but I wanted red and white checks, so I pulled that out. What other papers are you guys using as your accent? Great. And that's not saying you have to match your pictures. As I explained last week, I'm a matter. I'm trying to get better of not matting them all. I like what Kiwi Lane does with not matting. I know Debbie, Susan, all of them, most of their pictures are not matted. It's just ingrained in me completely. Okay, now we can put this away. And I didn't finish with my flower. Okay, so let's put a little glue here. A little dab will do you. Funny, on the back of the leaf is green where I sampled the green pen. Okay. So let's go to, almost done with this side. Let's go back in case anybody missed my explanation here. I had my other yellow flowers already punched out. Now again, I have a little place where I keep extra little things that I've punched out and I don't know what to do with. And I put them in this little tray over here. And when I'm looking for something, that's where it's going to be. I buried it somewhere here. Oh no, it's right here. So 1, 2, 3. these are the different, let's call them banners, title banners that came with the berry. And there was a lot of questions about it, how you would use it. So I tried a couple of different ways, and I'm going to let you pick the one that you want. This one, I cut out all the little intricate areas. And that's when my little cutter that I bought, my slice, gave out on me. It still works, Linda. It doesn't work as well. I even drew a little strawberry here and put the title on so you could see, because I'm going to use this, how it would look on here if I did it white like that. So, and I also did white with black, white with red, and then this one, I just colored in the back. I think they all work. And I would pop this up like so. And for me, I like this one the best on the page, but this one was cute also. So do you girls want to trace it? Does anyone know what the symbol next to my name? Lisa, I don't know what you're talking about. The last one, the red and white you like, Krishna? Oh, and Marcel likes this one, the one I colored. Oh, I just noticed that Deborah said she would have put 2 flowers. Yeah, you could do 2 flowers. Any more suggestions? The one I said I like, okay, so it's kind of a toss-up between this one and this one. Well, I'll tell you what, if I do it this way, and after I'm done, I don't like it, I can cut out the red, huh? Oh, that's an idea. And then it would look just like this. Okay, well, first of all, I'm going to trace it. And it just fits in here. Perfect. Well, I'm glad you guys see me from the side and not from the front, because when I trace, my tongue sticks out. It's a family trait. My grandkids do it. My dad does it. We stick our tongue out when we're concentrating on any kind of artistic endeavor. There you are. Okay. Let's cut her out. Magnets all over the place. How many of you watch TV while you're scrapbooking? Oh, that's pretty blue on the back. I watch HGTV. I've been watching the Olympics. I watch Survivor. And I just like the background sound. Sometimes I'll put my TV on music and have the music playing. Chrissy, our new parrot, says, watch TV? Oh, I started to tell you, the lady that owned her had her for 20 years, but the lady passed away. I don't know if she'd been sick for a while or what, but she passed. And after her passing, her kids didn't want the bird. Nobody wanted to take it. I've already talked to my grandkids about Jade because he only likes males and he's ornery to females. My daughter in Idaho said, I don't want no bird. She's got rabbits and cats and moose and elk and mountain lions. She don't want no parrot. Although we do take our parrots to Idaho when we go. Okay, there we are. So now I'm so torn. I don't know. Okay, well, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. I'm going to lightly erase. The lines. And I'm going to take my glitter pen that Deborah knows I'm in love with. That's not the red glitter pen. Where is my red glitter pen? Maybe I have to use the one down here. There it is. I'm on my third set. That's how often I use them. I'm sorry, moving you again. Hope you're back in the right position. Okay. This is a little bit nicer red. I like this red. So I must use, I have another red pen. I must have used that to fill it in. This one's a deeper red than that other is a lighter red, kind of a pinkish red. It doesn't take me long, so bear with me. What was I going to tell you? Oh, so Chrissy was given up to the rescue to a gentleman named John, and he had her for 2 months. And he had about 30 other birds. We could have, but I wanted an African gray, just like I had before. Not just because they're good talkers, they have great temperament. And they usually, not always, will be nice to men and women. They're not as prone, but most parrots are prone to pick their mate, whether it be a male or a female, and that is their mommy. We call it mommy and daddy. They decide who is going to be their buddy. So because of that, when I brought Chrissy home, I wouldn't allow my husband to play with her or touch her for the first 2 weeks. He could walk, oh, she follows him. I mean, she sits on her cage and watches him like a hawk walk around, because now she's bonded to a lady for 20 years and a man for 2 months. And so she was used to the man. So I've got to kind of get her back to the lady part of it. Okay. Oh, you know what? That looks good. Now I did not, oh, and you know what? I need to check just a second. I gotta stand up and check and see something here. Hoping my phone won't go dead. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna see if I can get a charger. Sorry, I'm thinking about, oh shoot, get over here. Okay, that charger does not go to that. This charger. I'm thinking my phone. Oh, Jenny, why didn't you think of this ahead of time? Just a minute. Let's see my whole body here. Just before we went live, I was telling Sonia. Okay, I'm going to wiggle you around a little while you're working. But I got a charger on here. Next time I'll set this up beforehand. Ooh, need the dust. The lamp I'm plugging it into is dusty. Okay, we're up and running, I think. Why isn't it going in all the way? There we go. Okay, I got us charging up now, full charge, so we should be good to go. You're wiggling around a little. Sorry about that. Stop moving. There you settled in. I had to plug it, put a plug back there. Okay, back to my so I got another question. On this one, I went around this part of the banner and around the outside. And this one I haven't done yet. Which one do you like better? Does it need it around the outside? I'm going to put it up there and you tell me what you think. There's that one. There's that one. I think it looks great like that. The outline all around. Oh, both are nice. The first one. Okay, so I got the first one all the way around. Both are nice. I like it around the outside. No lines, looks nice, clean. Okay. I think it looks nice, clean too. Because the problem was when I went around the outside, I wasn't sure how to connect it over here that it looked right. I know how I'm going to settle it. I know what I'm going to do. I am going to take my red ink and get my turntable going here. Reds and pinks I don't use as often, so it's down at the bottom. And I'm going to ink around the edge. But first, I'm going to ink on the other side. Oh, where is my red? Way over here with the yellow. Candied apple. Put that where it belongs. My squeaky wheel again. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's blue on the back. I won't be able to tell. Shoot. Well, if I do that, if I chalk, wait a minute. It's not going to be here. I'm going to try it. Very lightly. Very lightly. Just. Yep. I like it. Just a minute. I'm kind of doing a combo. Never happy. Okay, here's what I did. I inked around it lightly. And then just right here in the two V's, I used the pen. So it just made a distinction. Yep, right there. Okay. Now, the only thing is, I haven't decided, and I'm not going to tonight, I'm going to think on it, whether I want to matte. I'm an eyeballer, if you know what that is. I don't measure. I don't go how big, I just eyeball. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. Oops, my glue's filled. I did have, and I should have done that first. Let me see if this is what I cut this for. I think it was. Yep. Sorry, I'm gonna mat. I said I never know whether I'm going to or not. Then I remembered I did cut a mat, and I'm going to glue it down and show you what I'm doing here. So when I think of red and white check, the other color that I think of is black. Black makes it pop. And my grandson has a dark navy blue jacket on, but it looks black almost. I'm trying to think of his cousin's name. His name is Sage. His name is Sage, S-A-G-E, Ryder, R-Y-D-E-R. And the reason his middle name is Ryder is my daughter is very athletic and lives in Idaho and mountain climbs and dirt bikes and motorcycles and snow skis and you name it. And she rode a bicycle, not just a regular bicycle, but up and over the hills and all kinds of, up until the day that she delivered him. So we said his middle name has to do something with sports, so Ryder. The day that she went into delivery that night, we went up to the top of the ski lift at 7,500 feet. She's up there with her big belly. Oh, I'm fine. I'm like freaking out. And then she came home and got on her exercise ball and bounced around on the ball and then went and took a bath and went into labor in the bathtub. So I double matted. I put black behind and then red. But now I want to decide, do I want it centered? Now I'm going to show you, sometimes this works. Pop that off. Thank you. I eyeballed it, but I didn't think about that. So I'm going to put it right there. If I put it like that, it's almost centered. Yeah. Idaho is a beautiful state. Very pretty. I've been there all different seasons. We went there during the eclipse, and it's where the full eclipse would happen right there in her town, and so it was a big production. And She invited us out, and it happened to be our 25th wedding anniversary also that weekend. So we were very fortunate. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Yes or no? Should I finish it up and balance it out with a flower? Okay, Sharon, thanks for joining. Sharon's gonna go night-night. It's only 7 o'clock here, but she must be back east. Oh, she's got all day crop tomorrow. That'll be fun. So do you like the flower in the corner? I'm gonna go ahead and cut another leaf because we will need it wherever we use that flower. I'm a night owl. I come in here to my crop room. I watch TV with my husband from 6 to about 7:45, or so. He watches just the opposite of what I watch. Ugh, blood and guts and loud and banging and all that stuff. And so, oh, I was going to tell you too. You guys had asked a couple questions about the parrot. Our parrots don't sleep in their big cage. They sleep in a sleeping cage, a small cage where it's very tight and secure. One sleeps on the washer and the other sleeps on the dryer. We put down a blanket to protect the machines. And then we tuck them, cover them with a towel. And Daisy, before she passed away, at 7:45, would start saying, night-night, night-night. And Jade would say, Vic, Vic, because my husband puts them to bed. So, I stumble over her name. Chrissy does say good night and hello. In the morning, she says, good morning. Yep. Okay, a little glue. And so it's 7 o'clock. And so at about 7:45, Vic will go in and get their cages ready. Make sure they have fresh water and paper down inside their little carrying cage. It's a carrying cage that we use to transport them when we take them to the doctors and stuff. And they know that's where, and they go down at 8 o'clock and they sleep till 9. They do not make a sound from the minute you close that door or cover their cage, not a peep. And boy, you better not go down that hallway and make noise or have company over that's talking loud because they don't like it. Oh, I got my dirty fingers. I use my eraser on that. Where is that? Right there. How did I do that? Oh, I got green on my fingertip. Get the yellow. Make it brighter yellow there. There we go. I fixed her. Okay. There it is. I'm very happy with the vine. Very happy. This is a sweet life. That's cute. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to set it over here on my templates. And I'm going to do this for you. Sometimes this works and sometimes it don't. But and it's halfway working. And bring this over closer for you. The magnets want to pull and stretch and do all kinds of stuff. Okay, I can put my little banners away. I've got these made. I have other strawberry paper, so I could use these little banners another time on the strawberry paper. Okay, let's work on our jar. So this is how I did the jar. So I cut it in white. I'll show you how I use the liquid pearls again. I'm going to make a mock-up for you, but I'm going to use this one. White paper, here it is. When I trace it, I'm going to lightly trace this little part in here so I'll know where to place my label. Now, I've seen this done where they cut a title under here, and that looks really cute too if you don't want it plain and you want to pick out another title card that says sweet as berries, or I can't remember what the other one says, but there's a couple that you could use there. You can also make the jar, instead of clear, you could cut it out of one of the other coordinating papers. I wanted it clear because I wanted to have the cute little red and white check accented over on this side. I've also done it before where I take another piece of paper, say red for the berry. I'm going to reach across here and get it. And I've taken and cut it and then made it uneven here. So it looks like there's jam in here, if you follow what I'm saying. I'll show you, just in case you're not sure what I'm talking about. Just to give you an idea, because I've made this before, not this jar, but another one of the Kiwi Lane jars. Years and years ago, before Kiwi Lane had their templates, I used to buy patterns, paper patterns, and it had a printout with it. And then you cut out the paper pattern and then you use it as your template. And so I've been fussy cutting. So if you go like this, and you put that like that, and you put the lid on it, it'll look like a jar with jam in it. So I just cut red, and then I just took and drew a wiggly line so it looked like a partially jar of jam. You could do that and have strawberry jam. Okay, so we've got this cut, and then obviously I took the red and white check paper and I traced the lid. And then I had some, this wasn't baker's twine, it was a heavier twine that someone had given me. And I just took some of the black and white and I wrapped it around twice. I used my white glue. I put it on the board and held it down with the magnet till it glued. So this part I know you can do by yourself. I don't know if you're going to put a date here or leave it blank or put the jam in it, but I'm going to show you how I make this glisten and look like glass. So the first thing I do is get rid of my my pencil lines. So it's nice and clean. Now what I didn't do, but I am going to do with this one, if I can find the right color. In my inks, I have a gray. It's not a true gray. It's called pumice stone. It has a little hint of brown to it, I think. And I'm going to go around the outside a little on this one. I didn't on my other one. I don't know why. Well, I started saying I'm a night owl. I come in here when the birds go to bed at 8 o'clock, and I stay up till midnight or 1. Last night I was watching Reacher. I'm going to go around this one. Just makes it stand out a little more. Okay. Then I have a silver pen in my sparkly set. These pens are from Hobby Lobby. I mentioned that. They're called glitter gel pens. They normally sell, they're by Paper Studio. They sell for $6.99, and I get them when the supplies are on sale for 50% off. And so they only cost me $3.50. And like I said, I'm on my 3rd set. That's how often I use them. So all I did was I followed the curvature on both sides of, I got so much stuff here, I can move it out of the way for you. Need those. So I followed the curvature. On that side, on this side, and then I looked at, they have it drawn here, so it gives you an idea. And then I just looked at this picture, and I remember now, I penciled it first because I didn't want to boo-boo. I went downhill a little. So when I do it, I'll do it uphill. Again with the tongue. Okay. Then I take Nuvo, N-U-V-O, Aqua Shimmer. And it's a pen that puts on a glittery, fine highlight and a shimmer. And you have to store it standing up. Otherwise, it leaks out. Never lay it down. It's a brush. I don't know why they call it a pen. You squeeze it lightly to get the fluid to go to the tip. And then you just lightly brush over. And it gives us this beautiful shimmer like glass. I use it on windows, on vehicles, like if, or in a house, or if you want like a haunted house, and you put the yellow in the window, and then you put some of this on, it looks like the lights on in the house. I hope you can see that shimmer to it. So that's how I did that. And then I take my, I'm looking around for the color, because I have 2 of these, my liquid pearls. I have a gray that's called Pewter. Let's put this back. So I store this standing up in that little blue thing behind my work area. And again, just 2 little dots there and a dot here. And I'm going to put 2 dots there. So there is my little jar. And then the label would go right here, and then you make your lid and close it. Now, if you're not going to shimmer it and you're going to make the jam, then you would just shimmer above the jam. You could still put a little line where the jam line is to just accent it. But that's what that looks like. So that goes right there. There we go. So you can make that. I'm showing you how I highlighted it. We're going to go to the basket next. Oh, matter of fact, let's work on this so that before you bail on me, we have the title made, because I haven't done that. Just have to find where I have the card. Where did I bury it? I had everything so organized. Sure. Not there, it's not there, it's not there. Well, I'm gonna have to move a few things. I got too many things out. Let me put a few things back and see if we can find it. Put my gray away. I don't need that anymore. We buried over here on this side. I think I see it right now. Ta-da! Sweet and juicy strawberries ready for the picking. And I had a picture of the basket in the green with the strawberries falling out. So I was going to use the a la carte treasure, like so. And then behind it, the Hallmark a la carte, and mat it like so. Let me move my jar because I can use this another time, because that's got to dry. Remember, the liquid pearls have got to dry for a while or they smudge or go flat. So put that over there. Okay, so let's work on our title for this page. And I love that they made these templates just clear enough. You know, I don't do much journaling. So I've never ever used this card for a journaling card. I've always just used it as a title template. I got that pretty well centered. That was just a guess by golly. Cut that out. I haven't looked at any comments for a while. I want to watch the show Reacher. Is it good? Oh my God. So Heather, I've read all the books. Lee Child is, if you read, you have to start at the beginning. They're so good. It's a story about a retired private, a retired colonel, I think he is, in the Army. And he worked as, what do you call them? Security, like a detective. He is so smart and intelligent. He's so good looking and so hot. I remember when they first did, what was the book? Oh, anyhow, when they typecast Janet Ivanovich, when they did One for the Money, and they typecast the gal for that and the parts, and Debbie Reynolds played the grandma, whatever. I was so disappointed. The body type and the personality just didn't go. So Reacher is almost 7 feet tall, 6 feet 6 inches or something like that, 250 pounds and muscle bound. And he left the army. He was forced out as a colonel. And he decides just to become a hobo. He puts a toothbrush in his pocket. He carries no identification. Oh, no, I take that back. He has a passport. He has a toothbrush in his pocket, a passport, and ATM card. And he goes from town to town. Sometimes he's on a train, sometimes he's on a bus, and whatever he wants to go see, or whatever he sees out the window that looks interesting, he stops and gets into trouble. It never fails. It's a murder mystery usually, and it never fails. He's in the wrong place at the wrong time. And he gets arrested or in trouble, and somehow he gets himself out of it. But they put this guy in this role. I asked my husband today, because he had binge watched, as we call it, already, and hadn't included me in it when I'm the one that read all the books and got him reading the books. And so I was kind of disappointed. I said, what do you mean you watched them all? So I got it cut out. I'm going to lightly, like we did before, put a little red around the outside. And I go, what do you mean you watched them? And he said, oh, they were so good. So guess what I did last night? I stayed up to 2 o'clock in the morning and scrapbook, got this beautiful layout done, and binge watched it. But I don't think I watched them all. I think I watched just 4 or 5. And I asked my husband today, so is that really the guy's body? Is he really built like that? Is it really him, or did they pad him up with phony latex like the Hulk? Because let me tell you, this guy rocks the body. Woo, baby. And I'm 76 years old, and he's looking good. Anyhow, they got this guy, and it is very good. It's a little, if you don't like any kind of blood or seeing autopsies or people, you might have to cover your eyes a little bit, but oh, that looks good. But Jenny's not done because, of course, I have to use my red pen. So yes, very good. And if you like to read, get the books, but read them in order, because characters come and go and come back, and you'll understand when you watch this one how he hooks back up with the people that were in the service with him, or he calls upon friends, and he gets lucky and gets a one-nighter once in a while. But the funny thing about him is he carries no luggage, has no suitcase. And when his clothes get destroyed or dirty or bloody or smelly, he goes to Goodwill or a thrift store, which he sometimes has a hard time finding his size because he's such a big guy. There's a lot of hands-on fist fights too, but not too bad. So he goes to the thrift store, gets a new one, takes his dirty ones off, and sometimes he washes them in a bathroom or a hotel room and redonates them. So he's upcycling before upcycling was in, as my granddaughter would say. So my granddaughter this year, who's going to be 14 in March, I called her up and asked her for Christmas if I could take her Christmas shopping, which I've always done with the girls, and let them pick out their Christmas gifts. And then we could go to the Gap or Old Navy or wherever they wanted. And she hem-hawed and hem-hawed. Here it is with the red pin around over the chalking. And now the decision comes. I'm going to use some liquid pearl. I wish I had the thing that I made today because I could show you how I did it. I'm going to put some dots, just a few. Should I do green or should I do red? I'm thinking green because this is going to be on a red piece of paper. Where did I have it? Think I'll decide after I look at. I got my head in there again. So this is going to have the red outline. So I think the red would be too much. I think the green dots would be cute. So let me cut this out and then we can decide. So I said to my granddaughter, so you seem to be hesitating. Do you not want to go shopping this year? It's okay. You don't have to, just because Gigi wants to take you. And Gigi is what my grandkids call me. That's for Grandma Jenny. So I said, Gigi doesn't have to take you. Or I can give you an Amazon gift card or just a gift card to your favorite store. And she says to me, and she's such a sincere, sweet child. Well, Gigi, you know, these big corporate companies make so much money off of us when we buy from their stores. And they have that slave labor and that cheap labor and Bangladesh and all these other countries and put these clothes together. And I go, oh boy, this girl is heading in the right direction. Okay. She said, so I really don't want new clothes. So when they were little, I used to take their baby clothes to this store where I used to live before the fire. And it was called Second Time Around. And I would trade in their baby clothes and they would sell them. And then I would get store credit. And you could either take the store credit in cash every month, or you could leave it on the books. And I left it on the books. I never wanted the money. Didn't feel it was mine since everybody else had bought the clothes for them. Partially me, but all the grandmas. So I left it on the books. And when the girls would come up to Paradise to stay with me for the weekend, they would say, can we go to the toy store? Because it had toys, clothes, everything. It was toys at first, but as it got older, it was clothes. And these clothes, this store was very particular about what they took in. It was always nice and clean and in good shape. And they would go down there with me. And the first thing that they learned was to go up and ask, how much store credit do we have? So I had already prompted the owner, downplay it. If it's 300, tell them, well, you each have, $100 or whatever. So as I got older, they would ask how much store credit. Or they'd say to me, how much Gigi are you going to let us spend? They would go in there and they would pick out their clothes and model them for me and come home with bags full of goodies. There you go. So, okay, now I'm going to make sure I got all my lines erased. So they would come home with a bag full of goodies. Well, since we haven't lived up there for 3 years since the town burnt down, and of course, I had $400 credit on the books with those people. I'm going to flip it over, then I don't have to worry about the lines. But I couldn't very well go back to someone who had lost their store, lost their livelihood, lost their home, and say, could you give me $400? So we didn't. So she says to me, remember when we used to go up to the store and get to pick out our clothes? I go, yeah. She goes, do you have a favorite thrift store or a favorite secondhand store? I said, you know what? I do. It's called Hospice, and it's run by this group of volunteers. Okay, what I'm doing now, ladies, is I'm taking a white gel pen and I'm going to go put stitching around. my husband's asking the birds if they want him to go get their beds ready. I can hear him in there. You want Daddy to go get your beds ready? So I said, and the hospice workers, the money all goes to hospice, and then it goes into a fund. And when someone has a relative who is ill and is going to be passing, and they need comfort care, you call. And your uncle Glenn, my brother, when his wife had cancer and she was ready to pass, he needed help with making her feel comfortable and giving her morphine for the pain. And he said hospice came and helped him out because he was grieving because he knew he was going to lose her. And they were wonderful. And he talked so highly of them. So Gigi goes to 2 hospice stores. Now, where I live in the Bay Area, both those hospice stores are located in very rich communities, by Lafayette and Pleasant Hill, and the other one is in Martinez. And the stuff that is donated is high-end, very top quality stuff. So she told me she wanted a leather jacket, like a men's leather jacket, not a woman's. Oversized is what she was looking for. And I said, okay. So I took her to him. I gave her a budget of $100. At one store, we found 2 leather jackets. One was cut more like a woman's cut, and the other one was more like a man's cut. One was $15 and one was $25. You hear the bird now because they're chirping because they know it's time to go to bed. My husband moved them. Okay, there's stitching all done. Daisy, not Daisy, that's my other bird. Chrissy just said, you don't like it? That's what the first thing she picked up from me. When you get a new bird and you don't know what they're used to eating, you have to guess. So when we took her to have her toenails trimmed, we get her a Petty and a Manny and her wings clipped so that she wouldn't fly away from us. I'm putting mounting squares on the back of this and on the back of the other one. Yeah, I'm gonna pop it up. So I would give her something in her bowl, and her bowl is above her cage, sitting over a platform. Again, I'm gonna eyeball. Okay, so I put mounting squares behind the tag so that it's popped up, so it's very 3-dimensional. See, from the side, it's popped up. And now I'm going to use the green and keep my fingers crossed that I like it. So I would put the food in her bowl, like say apple, or they like eggs, so we put some hard-boiled eggs. We looked it up in the internet and said we always did omelets for Daisy, but we decided to try the hard-boiled eggs. Anyhow, you'd put it in her bowl and she'd fling it out and it'd come flying out, because I'm not feeding her in her cage, I'm feeding above her cage. It'd come flying out, flopping on the floor. I said, oh, this isn't going to work. So I'd go up there and I'd pick it up and put it back in. I said, what's wrong? You don't like it? On the 3rd day, she looks at me when I reached up there to put it back in. She goes, what? You don't like it? I go, yeah, I'm not eating it. You are. And I think you don't like it. Okay, so I'm saying green up here. I hope I'm right. We'll see. I'm going to squirt a little over here to make sure that it's not plugged. Nope, it's not. And here we go. She makes this cute little sound. The lady must have been pretty mobile and been able to get up and walk around. And then when she would sit down, as some of us do when we get older, she'd sit down and make a noise like that. So that's what Chrissy does. She just did it a minute ago. She goes, she just said it again. You don't like it? I like the green. I like it. Now again, you don't have to do this. This is an added. Yes, I hear you. Oh, I just heard her. You know the other thing she does? This lady must have had a stomach that was upset quite often because she belches. And I wrote John, the man that we bought her from, and said, so did she always belch loud? Oh, he said, always. Okay, here's what I did. Got it? Little dots. Don't have to put them in, just an extra added thing, but I likes it a lot. So there's my little title. And we'll let her dry up there. Okay. We'll see if I can get this basket done before I give myself 2 hours. So this basket from the harvest or from orchard had handles. I didn't want it to look like a gathering basket. I wanted it to look like a strawberry basket like you buy. So that's how I did it. Now I've seen some pages where they didn't cut these out and they just did another color of green and put them in here. And I thought about that, but then you lose the 3 dimension of the strawberries being in the basket. So no can do. If you want it to look like a basket full of strawberries, I think you have to cut them out. So I have traced a couple of strawberries over here. And I have this like this. There she goes. He's putting them to bed and the bed is right over there. She's being noisy. She's not a noisy bird. Neither of my birds are. Oh, it says. Okay, so that's how I had it, like the strawberry was sitting loose. And then this is going to be like that. And then I'm going to double mat this one. I'm going to make this, and it's going to hang. Oh, wait, I touched it. I didn't know, no. Doggone it. Wait a minute, gotta get some. But you gotta be careful of with the liquid pearls. I just smudged one. So I'm gonna leave it be. So when you smudge it, which I did, you let it dry, then you take your scissors or a tool and you can pop it off and re-put it on. But if you try to do it now, it's gonna smudge. So it's smushed over there. You need to close that, Vic. He must have a light on. She's not happy. So as I was saying, this is going to go here. And this is going to kind of go right about like that. Not in there, but tagged like that. That's my design. Okay. So I want to show you how I did the tips to the strawberries, because that was kind of perplexing. So the template, let me see if I have it over here. Strawberry, strawberry, strawberry. Now you can cut the strawberry out of this cute paper that's the back of this, but I didn't want to waste this paper because I want to use it again. But I love that. That's why I said I would buy another set of paper. I'm looking for the strawberry ladies. I have it in the bag. I bet it fell down on the ground. I can't find it. Ay, 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 ay. Jenny. I'm looking. Here's our jar all dry. That turned out good. But all my other templates. So see, well, we know how this happens, how you lose things. I'm cleaning up here, see if I've buried it. But I haven't had it out. Well, let me see. Maybe it's the same size as this and I don't have to panic for any reason. Oh, yes. It is the same size as this. Is there? No, well, maybe I've got myself confused. Maybe there isn't a loose strawberry pattern. Maybe it's just this one. I think so. Okay, so I did like this. Took my white pen and of course filled in the I usually put the African gray Chrissy to bed, and my husband's doing it, and I don't think she's cooperating very well. I hear him saying, hey. And I filled in the little white spots like this. Then I took the stem part here, and I used the bright green, which I thought I had out, but I don't see it. Reach underneath here and find some. Oh, looks like I used a lighter green. Maybe I use this green. This will work. So I went like this. Let me move this stuff over. I traced the top stem like so. Then I took the bigger one, turned it upside down, and placed it right where I thought it should go on top of that other one. And went like that. So now I have, if I fill it in a little, I'll cut it out for you so you can see. I'm getting my work area a mess here. I don't like to do that. Put some of this stuff away. I'm thinking I'm looking for a strawberry, but I don't think there was a strawberry. I think I just used the strawberry on that. Can you tell me if there was a loose strawberry? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm below the camera. Okay. What size tip on the white chill? I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to move you back. They're jelly roll. I don't use fancy ones. They're jelly rolls. These were from Joann's. There was 3 of them in a pack. They had them for 50% off. They last forever. I haven't even touched this pack. I just pulled it out of my stash. Medium line, it says 0.4. I've never paid a bit attention. I just buy it and it works. Okay, I'm cutting out the top to the strawberry, so you can see how I did it. Because, you know, they're a cap that goes all the way around. They're just not on the tip top. And I'm going to take my green and chalk it. Or ink it. You'll hear me say chalk because for years and years and years, we used chalks. And then they came out with the inks. And so, sorry, I switched back and forth. Okay, and Debbie Johnson, I know you asked a question one time. The pen that comes in the gel set, there's a gray, and then there's like a charcoal gray, but I think it's supposed to be black. And I said, if you put it on with green, it looks green. If you put it on white, it looks black. That's one that I'm talking about that I call almost black. I don't know if it's supposed to be black or if it's supposed to be charcoal, but I'll show you when I put it on this green. I'm going to outline these leaves just like I did in the picture, which I will post a close-up of that tomorrow. So that's how I did it. I inked it, then I put that almost black around the edges. Do I have it in the camera? There we go. Now I got it in the camera. Okay. So that then when you put it on the top of get over your strawberry. On the top of your strawberry, it looks like that. Doesn't that look just like it? And you got a whole cap. So that's how I did those. Take my little handy dandy glue. Oh, I know what my husband did. He couldn't get his bird to go, the green one, to get in the cage. So he put, oh, I know something I didn't do. On this one, you'll see the difference. Here's the one that we just made. And here's the one that I made before. And you'll see that I inked around the edge. See the difference, how one looks compared to the other? And I inked around it. Do I have it up in the right place? There we go. Come on. How come I can't find I'm moving back. Let me see. There we go. Oh, now I got it. So one is got ink around it and one doesn't. And this one is the one that has the ink, and I inked it in black so it'll stand out. And then I put the black over it. So that's how I did that. Okay, last thing I'm going to do before I cut you loose is make a basket and show you how I did it. Because if you don't have that tool that Linda has, I don't know why I don't have a piece of green out. Bright green. Is it underneath here? Nope. Okay, I'll have to get a big piece. Right here. So it's Christmas green is what I used. Oh, that's where yeah, Deborah, that's where I got the strawberry tiny seasons. Duh. See, and I probably even listed it on my supplies, but forgot. See, you get here talking and doing this, and I can't remember all of it. Good call. I know I got it from somewhere. And I remembered that. Okay, I'm tracing the basket. Oh, and the other thing you need to do in your basket is cut it out. If you know what I mean. So you can slide your strawberries in. Okay, let's cut the basket. I gotta get it in the light because it's hard to see the pencils on this darker color. One thing I was wondering if I should use the I'll try it on this one. If I should use the glistening pen on the basket, if it would make it look like the plastic from our day when you bought them in the plastic basket. Now they use the cardboard baskets and other stuff. Okay. So I do it the old-fashioned way. I take my scissors and jab in here and start to cut. Because that thing lost its tip, so I can't use it. Now I got my hole for my berries to go in. Okay. My husband's still trying to put those silly birds to bed. I told you, they're like 2-year-olds. Mine's in bed, but I don't, Jade is a very stubborn old parrot. And my husband's a very passive, nice young man, gonna be 80, and he doesn't push it. If I was out there, I'd tell that bird, get on your stick and get your butt in bed, and boy, he will go. But for Vic, so I poked a hole, stick my scissors in, and carefully cut out the slats. And then if you have any rough edges, I trim them from the back off. Okay, so it's going to be like so, and you're going to cut each one of those out. And then what I did is I took a real black pen, which I told you that was the one, it's over here. The one that's the roller pen from the dollar store. No, it says that that's being interrupted. You guys okay out there? Thank you, Lisa. I do it that way too, Kathy. What were you talking about how you poke it with your scissors? So then what I did is I took my pen, a black pen, and I went around, you can't see it on here. I went around the outside of the basket. Oh, my husband found popcorn. I can hear it. Microwave popping. And then I took and drew a line freehand from one side to the other of that rounded lip here. I'll draw on it so you can see what I'm talking about. It's going to stink this whole house up. I skipped dinner so I could be on with you guys at 5 o'clock and figured I'd have dinner afterwards. And I think I'll have popcorn and bottled water. Okay, I'm almost done here. Okay. So that's how it turns out. So that when you take your strawberries, you can tuck them. Now, if you don't want to go through the trouble of cutting these out, you would just trace it again in a lighter color. I'll show you. 2 ways to skin a cat. Is that the saying my mother used to say? 2 ways to skin a cat. I never understood that. What's that mean? My mother had more sayings. She used to say this one. To this day, I still don't understand it. I'm trying to think of it in my mind. If wishes were horses and beggars would ride. Anybody ever heard that one? What's all the yup, 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 yup? You keep saying that. If wishes were horses and beggars would ride. Okay, what am I looking for? Green. Okay. Right now I'm cutting a slat so you can see the other way you could do this. And after I get it glued on, I will take it off if I don't want it later. So if you wanted just 3 strawberries tucked in here, then you could do your slats, not cut them out, still cut out this part. And I'm having trouble figuring out where the camera lens is best. Right here, I think. There we go. See what I'm talking about? So there it is cut out, and then there's a slat. I don't mean to be waving it around, but that's another way to do it. I cut them all out, and the reason why is I wanted to be able to see the other strawberries stacked up. See, that's the difference. Okay, the very last thing was this. And this is the berry border. And I've seen lots of different ways to use it. So I just cut a strip because I thought it needed something right down here. So I was going to put this little here. Oh, I'm glad I used the green up there because I've got it down here too. I didn't even realize I had done that, see? So it's 9 o'clock Mountain Time, 8 o'clock our time. So I think I've taken enough of your time up and that you can finish up. I'd like to see some pictures of whatever you get done. I figure I've taken, do you have any questions? My mom's family knew all the sayings too. It keeps saying that. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What were the magnets you use? Oh, so the magnets, I will send you tomorrow. I'll look up Trisha, the comments, and I'll tell you, and I'll send you a link to Amazon. You buy them on Amazon. I know a couple of you out there bought them. I can't remember. Were they $8 or something like that? Yes, I will post a picture of my parrot tomorrow along with the finished product, so all of you can meet her and them. We have lots of pictures. I take pictures all the time. So the magnets are these little, they call them pawn magnets, P-A-W-N. If you just go on Amazon and put in pawn magnets, they will come up. They come in different colors. The first set I bought was black. Wrong, because the black doesn't show up on the black magnet board. And so then I went to the white. The ones that come with the scrap and easel are silver plated, and they chip and they make a mess and they snap so hard that they pinch your fingers sometime. So that's not good. Look, you should see the mess. Oh, you guys can see the mess. I've got everything out here. Well, I hope I've covered enough. And you can freelance the other side from there. I'm going to show you one more time what our first finished page looked like. Let's see if I've got it centered. Oh, that's not bad. So on the other side, I'm going to repeat the matting and the flowers. I think what I'll do is I'll put a flower over here, down at the bottom. And then on this one, when I double mat it, maybe I'll put one over here on this. You know what would be cute too? Let me see if I have another flower. Did I stick them all? Oh, I think I used them all. Oh, shoot. Where's the flower? Yeah, I used them all. I think what I'll do on this one, so maybe I'll put a flower here. And a flower here. Top and bottom, and one over here. That'll bring the flowers to this side. That sound good? Oh, it's 10 Central Time. I'm keeping you guys up late. Wow. Well, thank you, Tanya, for joining me, and Vicki, and Marcel, and Lisa, and Linda when you were here, and Tanya, Teresa, Krishna. Thank you all. I had a great time. I don't know what my next one will be, but tomorrow I'm going to post a layout that I did last night with the Christmas Christmas paper, along with the one that had little birds, it had cardinals and stuff. It turned out really cute. I was really pleased with it. So thank you so much. Have a nice evening. Sorry that I didn't finish the other side up, but I think I've kept you long enough. And I'll pick out something fun to do next time. Talk to you guys later. Bye.